I haven't made a video in about 2 months. I think since just before I went to Yellowstone. I planned on making videos in Yellowstone, but as it turned out, it was not quite the experience that I thought it was going to be. And I did not have time for videos. Like, no time. Uh, it, uh, it, 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 it just wasn't what I expected it to be. I've been back for about 2 months. I've been wanting to make a video for about 2 months since I've been back, and like I said, like I wanted to make them there, but I didn't have time. And since I got here, I immediately just started searching for a job, and then I got the job, and I've been working at the job since about a week and a half after I got home. So yeah, and basically right now all I'm doing is working. Like, I actually do that thing where I work all my shifts and I pick up other people's shifts and I pick up other people's shifts and I just work all the time. Cause I like money. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't necessarily like money, but I realize that I need it. My job doesn't actually pay a lot, and in Utah, money doesn't go very far. So yeah. Well, at least in my town, it doesn't. In other towns it does. Like, drive 30 minutes away and rent averages between like $500 and $700 to rent an actual house, and here it's like $1,100 average to rent a shitty ass apartment. So, but anyway, so yeah, I've just been here. I've been thinking about making videos, but I didn't because I work, and when I'm not working, I'm not sitting in here making videos. I'm like outside hanging from a tree, hammock, or fishing, or anything not inside because I hate inside. It's true. I know. I feel like a caged animal now lately. Or I guess this past year, things just changed and I became a different person and I prefer to be outside than inside, which isn't the way it always used to be. Hello? What is that? Oh, that's new. Sorry. Yeah, I live in one of those neighborhoods. um, but yeah, so Yellowstone was good though. I mean, kind of. It didn't end up well, turning out well. I ended up having to come home because I was going to be fired and I didn't want to be fired, so I just left. But I'll get to that in a minute. So I got there, and everything was good. I loved my roommates like big time, which was rare because there was so much drama going on there. There was three of us girls in a little room, maybe about this size, which you can't actually see, like how small this room is. See? That's how big it is. But that's cool. There was, three beds in there. There was no closet. No, that's not true. There was a closet. But it, like, literally I could get in the closet and, like, put my arms out like this. And that's about how big it was for three girls. So I just kept my shit under the bed. It's whatever. I didn't bring much. I'm a really light traveler. Like, I probably brought, like, 7 shirts and 3 pairs of pants and couple pairs of shoes and that's it. Like, that's what I packed. But yeah, it worked out good. We were really close, which was great because everybody else was talking like they had mad shit with their roommates. Like everybody hated their roommates, and we felt super lucky because we liked each other a lot. It got to the point where really none of us were really sleeping in our room anyway. We always ended up sleeping somewhere else or camping or whatever, so there was never much of a problem with like people being noisy as hell, except at first. At first, my second night there, okay, there's a party in the dorm. I was in the party dorm. There's 3 dorms, or 4, I think 3 or 4, I don't know. I didn't actually care about the other dorm, so it didn't matter to me. But there was a party in my dorm and everybody was in my dorm, and everybody was so drunk they couldn't get up the stairs. It was insane. And I didn't know what to do with myself. You know, I grew up in St. George, Utah, in a super Mormon family that didn't drink. Well, not by the time I was around. They drank before I was there. After everybody started having kids, it kind of settled down a little bit, I guess. Sort of. But so, you know, I mean, I've been to parties with my friends and stuff like that, but it was nothing like this. Like, it was noisy. Everybody was drunk. People were puking. People were peeing on the floors. They couldn't get up the stairs. They were falling asleep in weird places. I mean, I saw so many, like, penises and boobs, and I, I didn't know what to do with myself. I've never experienced anything like that before, and that happened at least twice a week, so I actually just got used to it. It got to a point where I didn't even notice, like, there were people there who I'd never seen sober the whole time I was there. Not once did I see, like, those people sober. And if I did, I probably would have thought they were drunk because they would have been acting weird. um, but yeah, that became my life, you know, and my window was actually, it's like facing the bar. We had an employee pub that was, I don't know, 20 to, I'd say maybe 50 feet away from my window. So, I mean, it was nonstop. Like, I, that's just what it was. And it just became my life, though, really quickly, you know, like, you know, if you're an adaptable person, you just take things for what it is and you just roll with it. So yeah, that it just was what it was, you know. So I became at the beginning, you know, I was surprised to find out that I mean, I was just being myself, and I never thought of myself this way, but people thought I was the person who started the parties after a while, because I mean, I guess I was, but I didn't think of it that way. I was just getting people together to do whatever. And apparently, you know, people, they'd come up to me later, like, what are we gonna do tonight? I'm like, what do you mean? Do whatever the hell you want to. And then, like, later that night, I just have this idea, like, hey, let's do this thing, and, you know, half the dorm would be there, and other people's dorms and such. And I remember the first time somebody told me, you know, you can't get that many people in one room, and I took that as a challenge. And so I went door to door, and I walked around campus, or whatever you call it, I don't know, walked around grounds, whatever. And I got everybody in there, and it turned out pretty cool. It dissipated pretty quickly, and then we started something else about 20 minutes later, but it was fun. But yeah, so you know, that just became my life. I was constantly surrounded by people. I was constantly doing something. I was never, hardly ever alone unless I had to go to great lengths to spend a little time in some silence by myself. 'Cause people, like, you know, they're always looking for you, or they're always just popping in, or, you know, no matter where you go. Because, I mean, you know, there's so many people in such a small space, and we're always there, and it just becomes, I don't know, silence becomes a strange thing. Let's put it that way. If you're a person who enjoys silence, I suppose, I I don't think that you should ever do anything like that, because you'll hate it and you'll leave really quick. Or you'll just be like a grouchy ass all the time. Like I was sometimes. But yeah, you know, I mean, it was cool, and that happened. I mean, I'd have to go off on a hike on my own sometimes to get away from people, because I am the type of person that likes to have some alone time and some silence, like, you know, to get away from them, because people bug the shit out of me, but, you know, it's whatever. um, though you do, I don't know, it's whatever. But then, you know, the work started. The first week was like summer camp, you know, like, we just had meetings, like, all the time. But other than that, we wasn't working yet, so, you know, everybody's either at work and, you know, kind of hungover or still drunk, or you're getting drunk. So that's the first week. And then all of a sudden the work starts. But everybody's in this routine of being drunk all the time. And that wasn't great for them. I mean, I don't drink, so that actually caused a lot of problems in the beginning. People constantly, like literally, because they're all drunk and I'm the weird one, you know, I'm the one that doesn't drink. So they're literally like pouring bottles like on me, trying to get me to drink it, or, you know, asking questions or pushing me towards it, or literally like giving me juice that they poured shit in. You know, that, and I have to smell everything I pick up. I can't put my cup down because I know if I pick it back up, there's gonna be some shit in it that like I didn't agree to put into my body. But whatever, you know, that's also something I just had to get used to. But there's a lot of distrust that comes with it, you know, because once you tell people, you know, you say I don't drink, people like the whole room turns around like what did she just say? Like, let's talk about that girl and not say anything nice. You know, it really is just like that. But you know, I just like, you have to step up and just be like, well, look, I'm this freaking awesome person. I went pretty far to show these people that, you know, I'm somebody that they still want to hang out with, because I didn't want to be the person that's like a loner for the whole summer into the fall, because I'm the girl that's, you know, doesn't drink or doesn't whatever the hell it is that they're doing. So there's this one night where everybody's gathered around the dorm stairs and somebody's got a guitar and they're playing a guitar, and this guy, he said he wasn't drunk. I don't believe him. But he was singing Steve Earle or something like that, which I love. I love Steve Earle. It's in a weird way. But so he starts singing, so I get up there and I start singing too, and I can't sing. Especially not then. And I mean, I don't know what was going. Oh, I remember. I was sick as shit my first week. I mean, like every time I breathed in at night, I would cough. I would cough myself to sleep, and I couldn't even breathe. I felt so bad for my roommates. But so I took a lot of cold medicine. But I was also sleep deprived because I hadn't really slept in forever. And so I wasn't slurring my words, but I couldn't stand up quite straight. I mean, I didn't do that on purpose, but I took a lot of it because I just wanted to feel good for a night, you know, and it worked. I felt great. I don't ever suggest doing this, by the way. I'm not saying I had fun because of it. But, I mean, I didn't get crazy silly, but I didn't feel right. Let's put it that way. I mean, I stood like this if I didn't have somebody to stand, like, against. Like, I would just start, felt like the world was moving on me. But yeah, I got up there and I sang and I showed these people that I can still have, like, fun and be super cool and awesome. I mean, of course, I did have too much cough medicine in me, but they did not know that. So, yeah, anyway, finally, after that, you know, people really calmed down and about me and they left me alone, you know. The Mormon jokes eventually quit. There was a lot of, you know, how many sister wives do you have? And so you're telling me if I wanted to be with you, I could also be with that girl at the same time? And I'm like, no. No, that's not what it means. That wasn't so funny, but I mean, I took it, you know, I just laughed, and because I knew eventually it would go away. And it did, you know, so, like, you know, people make jokes about you and stuff, and it's cool. I mean, a lot of times when people are doing shit like that, they're not laughing at you, they're expecting you to laugh with them and everybody else around them, and, you know, just, haha, never heard that before. And just let it go, you know, and that's what I did, and eventually I made a lot of friends, like so many friends in such a short time, it was insane. because, you know, I came in there with an attitude that I was going to do things differently this time, and that's exactly what I did. And, you know, I just tried to stay cool about everything, even though everything wasn't always going great, and it was really hard being away from my daughter, and, like, I remember Mother's Day was awful. But, you know, work keeps you so busy there. They work you like cattle. For real. And I'm not speaking shit about Santerra because it's in my contract. I'm not allowed to do that. But fucking assholes. Like, you wake up in the morning. You get there at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever the hell's on your schedule. Right? But, well, no, I'll get to that second part in a minute. So you get up, you go to work. You work, you know, all the way until, I don't know, 11, 12, 1, 2 p.m. And then you go home and you take a 2-hour nap. And you get your ass back to work until 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Between midnight and 1:30 was an average. So, and then you go home, you go to sleep, back to work in the morning. I'm not joking. That's your life. Okay? That's the Xanterra life. And you're in this beautiful place, you know, like Yellowstone or Zion or a cruise ship or what the fuck ever, wherever the hell you are, right? And you think you're gonna go there and you're gonna be hiking and you're gonna be making friends, and you know that's gonna be your life. It's gonna be like Mumford and Sons playing in the background of your life forever. So cool, right? You're gonna be working your ass off. You're gonna be sweating. Your whole body's gonna hurt. You're sleep deprived. The food isn't actually food. I'm not joking you. Like, the food, oh my gosh. I felt so sick all the time. Like, your shit floats. If you even can do that. I mean, true story. That's the life. That's the Xanterra life. And I mean, if you can hack it, you can do it. And you know what? It's not that bad. You get used to it. You know, if you're the type of person that just gets used to shit, brushes it off, and just keeps going with life, you're gonna have such a good time. You're surrounded by people, and, you know, sometimes you get 2 days off, and you disappear because you don't want to be in that place. And that's, you know, life is beautiful. If you can see it that way. If you can't, it's not for you. But if you can, you know, I suggest, if you have the time, that you do it, because it's a really good experience. Especially, like, I don't condone, of course, not going to college, but if you didn't, but you miss out on it, like a college dorm experience, and is kind of part of like life and growing up a little bit, I feel like, and that'll give it to you, because you work hard, you meet friends, you do shit that you'd never do in the first place if you didn't go to do something like that. So I suggest it, if you can hack it. If not, it's gonna make you a better person. But you know, I left 5 months early because there's one group of people that for some reason hated me, and I didn't even know they didn't like me until this happened. I had no idea. And my roommate, who you know, because I was a busser, and they were all waiters, waitresses, and there was a problem for some reason. Only this year I heard, because there's a lot of people who were returners, and they said that we had never had this problem until these people came. They said, like, the waiters and waitresses, there was a certain group of them. Just there was an A group and a B group, and I was in the B group. And the B group, for some reason, they just picked people out of nowhere, and they just trashed them. Like, they talked trash about them, they'd spread rumors about them. And I don't really understand why. I'm not really the type of person that does that or listens to that kind of stuff. I didn't even know they were doing it, because I didn't dislike them, but they weren't the type of people that I prefer to spend time with, you know, just because they were, I don't know, they were kind of catty seeming, and I don't know. I don't know, they were cliquish, I guess you could say. And they only hung out with each other, and it was really weird. And I don't know. I didn't bother myself with them too much. I mean, it's not like I was rude to them or, I'd say hi to them when I passed them or whatever, or talk to them when I was at work, but that's it. Um, I wouldn't, have considered us friends, but anyway, apparently I was one of the people that they didn't like and they'd been talking shit about for a long time. And I didn't even know that. Nobody even told me anything, I'd assume that, I don't know, if somebody's talking shit about somebody I know, I tell them. Uh, and like a lot of people tell me I shouldn't, but I don't know. That's not really something I think about. I just say it. But um, but I was hanging out one night. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and a lot of people are sleeping because it was a heavy day. There's days in the week where we're more busy, and but I didn't have to work the next night, so we were hanging out, and one of the girls says, "Oh, by the way, so and so has been talking shit about you and has been spreading a rumor that you've been stealing tips." And I'm just like, "Wait, what? What?" uh, wait, I was shocked that somebody would say that about me because and I just as like I just sat there, and as it start processing in my head, I was like it came down to either two conclusions, because I was not stealing tips for sure. Like, I would know if I was, and I absolutely knew I didn't ever. That's not something that I would do. And it hurt, actually. It started to like sink in that these people either think I'm a thief for real, which sucks, or they made it up. They literally thought up in their mind, how can I bring this person down for no reason at all and fuck with them, and made it up. And these two scenarios kept bouncing back in my head, and I really couldn't even decide which one I thought was worse. Either people actually think I'm a thief, or they're that nasty, and apparently a lot of people believed it. And apparently it had been going on for a while too, and I had no idea. And then the whole time, every time I was at work, I just could feel everybody staring at me. Every time I had to move a check, I push it with my hand to just show people, look, I'm not stealing anything. I'm not even putting my hands on it. I'm pushing it. See this? And it apparently, I found out a few weeks later that it was still going on. I thought it would just blow over and it would be cool. I never talked to a manager about it or anything because I felt like that would actually not be helpful to my situation. So, which later I actually got in more trouble for, but I'll get to that. But yeah, so the shit was still going on, and I don't know, it was difficult to have that going on, because I just felt like, I don't know, I felt guilty, which sucked because I just started seeing everybody watching me, and I realized how many people thought I was guilty. And new people would come in, and apparently they'd tell new people too, and it was just never ending, and I had no idea who knew. And I became really reclusive, which, as I told you in the beginning, that's not how it was at all. I was, uh, you know, I wanted people, or not wanted, I don't know, people just kind of flocked to me. They liked me, which, I mean, that's how it usually is in my life for the most part. And I'm not trying to say that super cocky or anything. It is the way it is, but I always kind of kept to myself. But there, I made an effort to not do that, and then after that happened, I started doing that again, and that's what sucked so much, was that I kind of threw that all in the trash, and I stopped trying because I just wanted to keep to myself because I didn't know who was talking shit about me. And at the end, finally, I got called to the office, and or not the office, but I don't know what it was called, just the manager over everybody, and he called me in, and I didn't know what was going on. You know, I thought maybe I was getting a change because I didn't want to be a busser anymore. I really wanted to do maintenance or something, you know, where I could actually keep learning the skills that I've already learned. You know, that's really important to me, is to keep adding to the things that I know and, you know, be physically active instead of, I mean, being a busser was pretty physically active there, but there was no learning at all. I already know how to pour water and clean up tables. I've been doing that for a long time. But, so yeah, I got called in there, and my boss at the restaurant was in there too. And they're like, so we're assuming you already know why you're here. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, why am I here? And they told me that people finally, like a bunch of people came to them that day to tell them that they had seen me, like they had witnessed me stealing from tables. And I was floored. Because no, they didn't. You know, they absolutely did not see me doing that. And I go out of my way to make sure it doesn't even look like I'm doing it. So I knew at that moment it was pretty obvious that they were just making shit up. And that, like, cut me so deep. But like I told you, I have a really hard time with certain emotions. So I was angry. I was so pissed off that somebody would. Why would anybody ever make something like that up about somebody? Like, who's that bored? You know? I don't know. I was pretty pissed off. But anyway, so yeah, that went on for a while, and I was gonna get fired. Eventually, they were trying to, you know, make up their mind. But yeah, I just like, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Because it got worse too. They started spreading more rumors after that because they were trying so hard to get me fired or kicked out. And I was like, you know what, I'm gone. Sorry, bro. Cool story. No. But yeah, so, you know, just the next day I was gone, and I didn't even tell anybody, my friends or anything. As I was leaving, though, it felt nice because there was a lot of people that came to me and was like, I don't believe it at all. So there was at least that, you know, people coming up to me being like, that's bullshit. Like, we know you didn't do it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the story, and now I'm here. I lost a lot of friends. I haven't really talked to them since. I really don't know who believes it and who doesn't still. Who knows? Now I'm just looking for my next venture. But yeah, I'll keep making videos. That's the end of this one. There's actually a lot more to go into. I don't know. Like, at the end, I found out that a lot of the people whom I did trust, like, I don't know, like my really close people whom I had been confiding in this whole time were actually part of it. And I was so twisted around. I had no idea what to think or do, or, you know, I was like, wait, so I've been talking to you and you had been talking to them and helping them? What? I don't know. But that's the story. I came back kind of with a negative attitude at first, you know, like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of attitude, you know, and I'm still trying to shake it, honestly. I've been going through a lot of changes, and honestly, that didn't help at all. But that's a different video, and I will talk to you guys later.